once again, welcome aboard Boeing Stearman today, Fantasy Flight, and today is the 19th of May, and you're going to conquer the skies.
Wonderful.
Like they did 70 plus years ago. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the takeoff. Once we get to about 200 feet off the ground, I'm going to have you come on the controls with me, and we're going to do a couple of turns together, one to the left, and then one to the right, and then once we do those two turns, I'm going to turn the airplane over to you.
Wow.
The only way to learn how to fly this is to jump in with both feet and fly it. But believe me, you'll actually, especially with your technical background, you're actually going to do quite well. When you grab this stick up there, just have a really loose grip on it. Okay. If you have a death grip on it, that's not really what you want. For takeoff, just have your feet on the floorboards. There we go. I'm going to do this here. I don't see anybody ahead of us. No alligators, turtles, or cows. So we're going to gently ease the power on in. It gets off the ground at about the length of a football field. All right, that's full power right there with this thing. All right, we're zipping off down the runway. We're speeding up. The tail comes off the ground. It's ready to fly right now, so we're going to gently bring the nose on up and rock it out. A little bit quicker than that twin Cessna, huh? All right, so 75 miles an hour is the airspeed we're looking at on the climb out, which is about what we have now. We have a smoke system on board the airplane with you today. I'm going to add a little smoke for your wife and friends down here. I'll kind of sidestep the runway a little bit. There they are down there. And here's the smoke for them. All right. Bob, here we are at 200 feet. Go ahead and push the other rudder pedals down there. Grab that stick with your right hand once again. I'm still with you. You can tell me, Bruno. All right, here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a left-hand turn. So what I want you to do is gently ease the stick to the left. The airplane will roll to the left. When you get the angle of bank that you want, you bring the stick back to neutral. Now, if you look at that little black ball on your instrument panel, you'll notice the ball's right in the middle. Again, that's your bubble level. What that's telling you is how much rudder pedal pressure to use in a turn. You don't have to use any on the left-hand turn because of that torque. Right. All right. Let's go ahead and roll the wings back to level. Let's try a right-hand turn. Perfect. Stick back to neutral. Now, look at that little black ball. See how it touches the right a little bit? Push forward on that right rudder pedal until that ball goes back between the two white lines. And that's how you fly a Boeing Stearman. It's that simple. We'll go ahead and roll those wings back to level. And where we want to be doing most of our flying today here, Bob, is out here to your left. If you look out there, see all that grassy area? That's a great place for us to go. Let's go head on out that way. So ease that stick over to the left. Good. Remember, no rudder pedal pressure to make a left-hand turn. Super. Nice. Go ahead on that way. You're a very intense man. I'm looking at you in that mirror up there. We got a smile out of you. I know. That's cool. You know, here's what's going to happen. I'll tell you what to expect. If you're a little apprehensive right now, you should be. You've never done this before. After 10 minutes, all that apprehension that you have will be gone. Okay? Now, Bob, now look in the mirror. Look at the... I let go about a minute ago. Wow. I forgot to tell you, I'm sorry. Now, if you look down below, you see this road right here? I want you to make a right-hand turn, and I want you to follow that road to the north. Shallow angle of bank. There you go. Remember, right angle of bank, right rudder, and bring the nose up slightly. Come back on that stick a little tiny bit. There you go. Now go ahead and roll the wings back to level. So you'll see how sensitive the stick is. And doesn't take much now. Go ahead and roll the wings back to level here. We're flying to the north. Now bring that nose up a little bit more. We want to continue to climb. We're going to go up to 1,500 feet. Look over here off your left. You see there's a fence line or a tree line over here? Basically what that is, that's a property line. That's east and west. Let's make a shallow left-hand turn and let's go towards Tampa. So we're going to start off with the easy stuff on how to turn this airplane. And then we'll keep it comfortable. We'll just keep on working forward from there. Keep on going to your left, just flying out here to the west. Here's something I haven't told you yet. Anytime you do a turn in an airplane, you lose a little bit of lift. When you lose a little bit of lift, what happens? Well, the nose falls. so you got to bring the nose up slightly in a turn. Right, coming up on 800 feet, let's make another right-hand turn. Right angle on, right rudder, a little elevator, all three at the same time. There you go. Not too steep, don't let it get too steep yet. We'll work our way into the steep one. Good, we'll bring the nose up some more. Super. And right now at 700 feet, we still need to climb, so bring the nose up. The way you know if you're climbing is if you look out here, you see our horizon's flat. So you can see if our wings are, we have a high angle of attack or not. If you look over the nose, you just don't know when you're climbing or not. You're doing good, you're climbing perfect right now. We're coming up on 800 feet here. Let's make one more left-hand turn. Good. And bring that nose up a little bit more for me. Like I mentioned to you on the ground, Bob, the reason why this is a great trainer is because one, it's slow, two, it's easy to see out of the airplane, and it's very maneuverable. Super. It takes some time to get used to this sensitive, yeah. Good. Right now we've passed 1,000 feet. Just hold it here. We're going to go up a couple hundred more feet here. Keep it climbing. Now, this is what we call uncontrolled airspace. All right? I'm not talking to anybody up here but you. So we're always looking outside the aircraft for airplanes that may be around here. Now the village is off your right wing about 30 miles away. There's a green swamp up here. It's on the north side of the green swamp.
You know, this bouncing around, is this me doing it?
Nope, it's just a little turbulence, that's all. You've been in the air in a jet when it bounces you around. Yeah. Same deal. Okay. You know, you have little columns of air that are rising faster than others, and that's what that is. It's because, yeah, as we know, hot air or warm air rises. So bring the nose up a little bit more. So because of that, the best time to fly is in the morning or in the evening. But right now, it's pretty nice right now. It's not bumpy at all, comparatively. All right, here we are coming up on 1,400 feet. Just keep the wings level as best you can. So if Mother Nature bounces you one way, just recover from that by stick input. All right, so coming on up here, we were doing some nice 20-degree angle of bank turns. And now what I want you to do is I'm going to push your boundaries a little bit. We want to do a 180-degree turn to your left. We want a little steeper turn. Now, you see those wires that are directly ahead of the airplane? Those are 45, so we want 30 degrees right there. Hold that right there. Good. We're going to do a 180-degree turn to your left, which is right here. If you look off, there's that little line that we were following. You see that? That's east and west, so now we're going back to the south. Keep going to the left until we're going parallel with that. Now, if that's comfortable for your left hand to be on that cockpit combing, that's fine. If you want to place it on the throttle, that's fine. That's a nice place for that to be. Good. We'll roll the wings back to level here. Super. Let's try one of those to the right. A little bit of right rudder on this one. So a 30-degree angle of bank to your right. Right angle on, right rudder. Good. Perfect, and you brought the nose up. Very nice. And around you go. That's 90 degrees there, Bob. Here's another little section line right here. You can see it. That's east and west. So when we're going back parallel with that, just roll the wings back to level. How you feeling?
Good.
Okay.
It's just a real intense. I feel that combination.
Right. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll see if we can find some nice air. Although,
well, no, it's just getting used to it.
Okay. All right. Now I want you to focus in on that wire. Those wires directly ahead of the windscreen there.
All right.
Let's take a left-hand turn. I want you to put that left wire parallel with that horizon. Okay, parallel and a little above.
All right.
Let's try that. This is 45 degrees here. A little bit more parallel and above. A little bit more to your left, a little bit more, a little bit steeper, a little bit more, a little bit more. There you go. Now keep it parallel. Don't let it roll out. There. Now, to get your pilot's license, this is one of the maneuvers you have to do, right here. You're doing it on lesson number 1. That's the 180, keep it going to your left. Look off your left shoulder. Wow. Maybe you don't want to look over your left shoulder. Super. Nice. We're coming around. Let's try one to the right. Same deal. Great job. Put that right wire parallel with the horizon and a little above. A little bit more to your right, a little bit more. Boom, right there. Perfect. Hold that. And again, this is on your private pilot check ride right here. That's 90 degrees. We're going to finish up at the 360. Right over your section line right there. This is going back towards Orlando. Just keep it going to your right. So lower that nose a little bit for me. Parallel and about 4 inches above the horizon. There you go, right there. 270 degrees is there, Bob.
You told me where to straighten out.
Right about well, you can see it right here. This little dirt road right here is east and west. We can straighten it out right here. You are now the king of the turn. I can't teach you any more on how to turn an airplane. That's how you turn any airplane. Whether you're flying, it doesn't matter what you're flying. It's pretty simple. Okay, now we're going to push you a little bit further. You feeling okay? Bob, you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Fine. I'm having a little hard time hearing.
Oh, let me turn you up a little bit. How about now? Is that better?
Yes, it
okay.
is. Good.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to integrate turning and going up and down at the same time. I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to do a maneuver for it with you. So just stay with me. I'm here with you. All right. So we're going to do a shallow angle of bank, turn to your left, right there. That's all you want. Shallow angle of bank. We're going to bring the nose up. Freeze the stick right there. Don't move it at all. All right. Look over your left shoulder. Enjoy the view. Wow. Let the airplane do this for you. Gravity will pull the nose through the horizon on its own. Downhill we come. All we have to do now is recover. We're going to gently roll it to the right. Bring the nose on up. And you're going in a direction. It's like you drove over at Daytona. It's like the end zone. You know how the end zones are kind of like that. They go up and they curve. It's kind of very similar to that. All right, you got it. Let's have you do one of those to your left. So I'll talk you through it. So shallow angle of bank. Bring the nose up. Come on back some more. Come on back some more. Now just freeze the stick. And glance over your left shoulder. Downhill she comes. Start rolling it to the right. Bring the nose on up. Very nice. You did that all on your own. You like that?
That feels good.
All right. Let's try one to the right. The only difference on this one is you have to use a little bit of right rudder. There's your shallow angle of bank. Bring the nose up. Come on back on that stick. Come on back some more. Come on back some more. Hold that stick right there. Have that right rudder. Over the top you go. Downhill she comes. Let it speed on up. And then roll the wings back to level. Cool. That's one to the right. Pretty simple. Wow. How about I test you? Let's do a test. You're a teacher. I'm going to test you this time. But I want you to do one to the left, followed by one to the right. No stopping in between the two. Let's try it. Shallow angle of bank. Bring it up. Come on back on that stick. Come on back. Come on back. Hold that stick right there. Don't move it at all. Let the airplane perform the maneuver for you. Grab it. Good. The nose falls to the horizon. Roll it on out to the right. Now do the same thing to the right. Bring that nose on up. Come on back some more. Come on back some more. Come on back some more. Look how steep you're going up. A little bit of right rudder. Good. Downhill she flies. Roll it back to the left and bring that nose on up. Here, 110. 115 miles an hour. Wow. You hear it? You can really hear the airplane.
No, just feel it.
Yeah. Bring that nose up a little bit more for me. We'll kind of recover some of this lost altitude. And you just did all that by yourself, the lazy egg. No, I'm not touching the thing back here. What a sense of accomplishment, huh?
This is amazing. This is totally amazing.
This is gonna. I hope that this ranks up next to driving that NASCAR at 160 miles an hour.
I was just a passenger there.
I got one more thing to show you. All right. You have learned how to go left and right and up and down. How about if we have the airplane teach you how to notice when it's going fast and slow? All right. All right, so I want you to do your best to keep the wings level. I know Mother Nature's bouncing you around slightly, but that's not a big deal. You're doing a nice job. I'm going to bring the power back a little bit. Okay. Now, gently lower the nose for me. Put the airplane into a shallow dive. A little bit more. Tell me when you hear the whistle of the wind in the wires. You hear that?
A little bit, yeah.
How about now? All right, now bring the nose to level flight. Bring the nose up a little bit. Now,
I got lousy hearing.
I hear you. If we get those wings back to level, now bring the nose up some more. Bring the nose up some more. Bring the nose up some more. At 55 miles an hour, it can no longer fly. Bring the nose up some more. Just keep and watch what happens. Come on back. Airplane says, if you want to lower my nose, bring it back about an inch. Bring the stick back about an inch. If you want to lower my nose, I will do it for you. And it's flying again. Wow. Bring the power back in. And so go ahead and lower that nose for me. So the idea is up and down, left and right, and fast and slow. And that's how you fly a plane.
Amazing.
That's the condensed version on how to fly an airplane. So basically, once you get used to doing all this stuff, which takes no more than practice, then you have to learn how to land it and take off, and then you're good to go. It's that simple. Now, the cool thing is you have learned how to fly this airplane. By the way, the apprehension that you might have had about 15 minutes ago, is it gone, or do you still have it? It's gone.
This is amazing.
Yeah, you're looking outside the airplane now. For me, as your instructor, that means you're feeling a lot more comfortable in the airplane than you were a while ago. Let's take a left-hand turn. We're getting near these houses down here. We have about 7 minutes left to go here in our flight time before we have to head on back towards Fantasy Flight. This is your opportunity to have some fun. So if you want to do some more turns, fine. If you like those lazy eights, fine. If you just want to fly it around, if you want to drop down and fly around at 500 feet, that's fine as well.
Now let's just fly it the way it is.
You got it.
I'm just getting a real kick out of this.
Let's go over this way. It's really kind of a pretty area to fly. We'll make a shallow right-hand turn. Good. Now, back in World War II, you would have been expected to solo this airplane in between 8 and 12 hours of instruction.
You're kidding.
Now, if you couldn't do that, they're going to give you 2 more hours of training. If you still could not solo the airplane, fly it by yourself, they kicked you out. Now, 22% of those who started in experiment failed. And I don't think they failed because they couldn't fly it. I think it was the landing part. It's difficult to learn how to land this thing. Perfect, beautiful day to fly. Right ahead of you, there's a big lake off to your ahead of us and to your left. That's Lake Parker over in Lakeland.
What's the name of the lake?
Lake Parker. Parker. Back in World War II, on the far side of that lake was the Army Air Corps training base. This lake is right over here. Was the Army Air Corps training base. They had over 225 Stearman aircraft there. So where you're flying right now, this is where they did the training, right here, where you're at. 200 Stearmans flying here every single day. Every single day. Because, you know, you can fly here every day because the weather's so good.
Yeah, right.
Now let's make a little bit more of a left-hand turn. We'll head on over this way. You can see off your left wing there's all this dirt here. That's the new USF, Polytechnic University going in there. There you go.
You know,
What's that?
no, I was just going to say, you're pointing out all these landmarks, which is great, and I'm so damn tense now that I'm sick.
Well, it's a great
And I
exercise.
feel a little burst of air, you know, throwing it, and oh shit, what did I do?
If you let go of the stick, let go of the stick for me for a second. And then put your feet on the floor. Now you can't see my feet, but you can see my hands. Look at the mirror. Now look, no one's flying this
Like
airplane.
flying itself.
Yeah, you don't have to fly it. You just need to tell it what to do. So go ahead and grab it. Airplanes will fly. So if it's perfectly calm, this airplane will stay in straight level flight, and it'll fly straight till it runs out of gas.
Now the controls, like the rudder and all that, was they automatic, are they spring-loaded to go back to a neutral position, or?
No, they're not spring-loaded or automatic. What happens is there's airflow going over like the ailerons down there. So if you deflect one, if you let go of the stick, it's going to go back to neutral on its own because the airflow. Exactly.
Okay.
Same is true for the elevator. Same is true for the rudder.
All right.
So they're not spring-loaded, but
So if you get it going in a climbing or a diving attitude and let go, it'll stay in that.
No, try it. Push the nose down. Watch what this thing does. Push the nose down some more. Okay, now let go of the stick. Now watch what it does. The nose, it'll go faster downhill. It creates more lift. The nose will gently come up, like it's doing right now. Then it's going to start slowing down. You can hear it slowing down. Well, when it slows down, what's going to happen? Well, the nose is going to start dropping like it is now. And so what it's going to do is going to oscillate. Each oscillation will be less than the one before, and ultimately it'll go back to level flight.
I'll be damned.
That's what you want in there. And a trainer, these kids were 18 years old. They didn't know how to fly. It's the same as you. You've never flown an airplane before, and it's easy. It's easy. Yeah. Isn't that great? Fantasy of flight, actually, you have literally come full circle. It's right ahead of you. You lower the nose, it's right ahead of us to your left. We got about 5 or 6 minutes before we have to go back. But it's a beautiful area to fly around. You can see all the lakes, all the grassy open area. And when you fly airplanes, to be quite honest with you, you don't really want to fly over people's houses or playgrounds or, busy cities. You can land anywhere you want it out here. So what do you think, Bob? Better than you thought?
Say what?
Is this better than you thought?
Yeah, so you're the doctor.
Yeah, you fly this thing 65 hours in your primary training course, and once you graduated from this, they would give you an airplane that was a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, called a BT-13, twice the amount of horsepower. And BT stood for Basic Trainer. You'd fly that airplane for about 100 hours. You would do your night flight, your instrument training, and your formation work in that. From there, the AT-6 Texan. You fly the Texan for 100 hours. From there, you go into the fighter. So there was a 4-step process. Now I'll tell you what. Now there's your wife and your friends are down below us to your left. See it down there? Let's make a left-hand turn.
Okay.
So let's make a left-hand turn so they can see what you're doing up here. We'll stay in view as because they're looking up at you right now. So show them what you got. So learn how to turn it. Learn how to turn this thing. There you go. The great thing about the Stearman is Boeing built 10,346 Stearmans in World War II. Okay. I can still get brand new parts for this airplane today.
Really?
Yeah. If I needed something for the engine, today's Saturday, I'm not going to get it tomorrow. But on Monday, I can call up a couple of places, two places, and I can have it overnighted here and keep it going. Let's make a right-hand turn. Same is true for the airplane. There you go. Right aileron, right rudder. Perfect. Turn around your nose. Look how far you've come in a short period of time, Bob.
Boy, yeah. If you would told me I'd be doing this flying myself if they were drinking something I don't know about.
You're doing great. There's nothing that you can do in this airplane that I can't undo in about 10 feet. So that's why it's such a great platform. I say keep going to the right. I want you to fly down this runway. Keep going to your right. We'll give them some air shows above. Keep going to your right. Don't fly a little steeper to your right. A little bit more. Keep going to your right. There you go. Here's a little air show smoke for him here. Now, that's even better. You didn't know you were going to be an air show pilot today.
Yeah, right.
Let alone a pilot, but an air show pilot. My wife got that air show smoke for me for Christmas last year. I love it. It's fun. I want one for my car. Alright, here's the next task here. I'm going to take you out, and I'm going to have you fly the pattern to land. So I want you to make a left-hand turn. You can look at this lake down here. Bob, you see the water? You can see the wind drift on the water? It's blowing that way. So we're gonna probably use the same runway we took off from. So I want you to go out this way. Very good. And I'll try to make sense of everything that I've taught you up to this point. When you fly the pattern to land, it's a combination of trying to maintain your airspeed and not doing anything stupid and a shallow angle of bank turns. So I had you do... What's that?
It's hard to hear what you're saying.
Oh. I'll turn it. How about now?
Okay.
I really got it cranked up now. So I want you to keep the wings level for me. Good. All right. So we want to maintain our airspeed of at least 75 miles an hour, and we're going to maintain shallow angle of bank turns. All right, let's make a left-hand turn here. Right there is perfect. Hold that right there. Good. We want to do a shallow turn, which is what you're doing right now. Keep it going to your left. We're going to do another 180. Here's our airport right here. You see it? Our long runway is right there. It's hard to see them because they're glass. So we want to go back this way. Keep it going to your left. Real good. Another 90-degree turn to your left. Keep it going to your left.
Right?
To the left. You want to go this way. Keep it going. Alright. Looking good. Alright, so here's the deal. We'll roll the wings back to level here. Back to the right. Keep it going straight. Don't make any turns. I know Mother Nature's kind of bouncing you around again. You're doing good. You're doing great. Alright, here I want you to make another right-hand turn.
Make it right?
Right-hand turn. 90-degree turn to your right. Right aileron or right rudder. Good. And we'll go ahead and roll those wings back to level here. Now, look off your right. You see our runway, it's hard to see it, but it goes between the trees down there. It goes from this I-4 all the way down to the other road.
Oh, okay.
You see it there? I want you to make another right-hand turn when you're ready, and I want you to line up the airplane with our runway. Go ahead and lower that nose for me a little bit. Lower the nose. Keep your airspeed going. There you go. Good. Perfect. There's your runway. I'm going to bring the power back now. Now, with the power back, you might be able to hear that whistle of the wind and the wires. Good.
Yeah, I just did.
Now you can? Good. So the airplane's telling you how fast it's going by listening to that. Now go ahead and lower the nose. Keep that runway inside. There it is. Hold it right there. Perfect. Just hold this right here. What do you think, Bob? You think you want to try and land it?
No.
Are you sure?
No, it's in your hands.
Okay. Go ahead and lower the nose some more. That was pretty definite.
That's in your hands now, Rob.
Just keep on. I'm going to have you fly down about 50 feet off the ground. You're doing fine. All right. I'm going to take her here. Just put your feet on the floorboards.
You're right.
And hands you land. Now listen to this airplane. This is how you land it. You look straight ahead. You focus on infinity, and you can hear it slowing down. We're coming down. We're getting slower. You can hear it getting slower. It's getting slower, slower. And there's the ground.
Wow. That was amazing. That was totally amazing.
Once in a lifetime.
You got it, brother.
Now,
just like going for a ride in that stock car. I'll
exactly.
probably never do it again, but this, like I said, this was a fantastic experience.
Good. I'm not done with you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Go ahead and put your feet back on those pedals and make sure your heels are on the floorboards. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Half an hour ago, we talked about how to taxi this thing, so you got it. So we're going to the left a little bit, which is fine. Then you hang your head out the right-hand side, and then let's go back to the right, and then you hang your head out the left-hand side. So basically, they're called S-turns. You keep the airplane in the middle of the runway. There you go, just like this. Good. Back to the left. We're looking for alligators, turtles, and cows.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit more pressure on the pedals when you're on the ground.
It does. It's because the tail wheel back there now has the friction of it being on the ground, so that you have
kind of a caster effect where it always wants to straighten out.
Right. Nice. Got the hang of it. Seriously, this is the hardest part for people. You're doing a nice job. You got this thing right in the middle. You got the whole deal down.
Thank you.
I don't like to talk on this part because it does take a little concentration. Super job. I'll tell you what, Bob, I'm going to take it from here.
All right,
now,
got
for the
it.
last portion, now you can relax.
Oh. Worked up a hell of a sweat up there.
We left the windows down and you're up there sweating.
Yeah, right.
If you're not sweating when you get back, I didn't do my job. Got to work you over a little bit.
No.
So we're coming on in here. We're going to go all the way to the right. She swings around. So to shut this thing down, all we have to do is we're going to bring the mixture control all the way back to lean. Take one more deep whiff. You'll smell some 100 octane. Possibly, maybe not. Anyways, great job. Super flight.
Fantastic. Fantastic.